Children, in our last video, we had discussed about the collapse of USSR. It was during the period of Gorbachev that the USSR opened up. Two main aspects. One was glasnost, that's a liberal attitude, and the other one was perestroika, reorganizing the entire system. These were the two new steps taken by Gorbachev. Russia was boiling within. People did not like autocracy. Earlier, they came out of the capitalism of the czars. Then they held socialistic pattern at its highest point. But over years, Russia evolved as a major political power in the world. Two countries which came out very strong were Russia and America. Communist Russia, capitalistic America. And there was Cold War between the two, which we will be learning later. It was during the period of Gorbachev, Russia got its communist pattern of administration evolved into a democratic process. It did not become a democratic country, but within the socialistic, the communist administration, they brought in a certain amount of democratic philosophy. There's a big change. That's what we call as reorganization, perestroika. And the other one is glasnost, liberalization. Reorganization and liberal philosophy. So Russia collapsed into a number of smaller states. But still the mainland Russia remained a big state. Even today, Russia is the largest country in the world by area. By area, it is the largest country. So Russia evolved now under Gorbachev. It was in 1987. Now, after the First World War, we see the evolution of two great dictators in Europe. First World War was not an end in itself. After the First World War, League of Nations came into existence. By 1939, Germany got ready for another World War. So we had the Second World War, 1939 to 1945. First World War was of 4 years. Second World War was of 6 years. And the war was led by Adolf Hitler, a great dictator who made the entire world shudder. Hearing the name of Hitler, politicians everywhere, nations' heads everywhere, they used to shudder. He was such a dictator. He had built up such a huge militaristic, strong power in Germany, with the help of which he was able to face the entire world. Maybe ultimately he fails. Hitler was a dictator who rose up in Germany, and in the meanwhile, Italy saw Mussolini, another great dictator. Hitler and Mussolini became friends. Germany, Italy and Japan, these three countries came together and they were called as Axis forces. in the Second World War. Three main countries which fought against the rest of the world. Russia is a communist regime. In Germany, you had Hindenburg's rule before Hitler came to take over the power. In the First World War II, Hitler had fought. He was a mere soldier then. He was a part of the army. So he had seen 1914 war. He had got rich experience there. And Hindenburg was the head of Germany. After Hindenburg's death, Hitler, who had rose into power, he took over the control of Germany into his hands. So it was after Hindenburg's death, that Hitler became the Führer. We use the word Führer. Führer means dictator. Everyone has to listen to him. A strong dictator. He had absolute power in his hands. He was able to crush all the minor political forces there and take over Germany into his hands. He built a big force, a militaristic regime. He was able to capitalize on the experience whatever he had, made it an industrialist country, industrial power, huge military power, and he hated almost all the other nations. He wanted to rule the entire world. So we say Hitler became a Führer. Hitler became a Führer. He took the help of German industrialists. He injected that national fervor into the blood of each and every German. He assured the Germans that they are Aryans. They have a superior blood. They were Aryans and they were empowered to rule the entire world. We are destined to rule the entire world. This is the kind of thought he injected into the minds of the people. He took the help of industrialists. He suppressed the socialists in Germany. He suppressed the communists in Germany with the help of the industrialists. He banned all workers' unions, because these unions, workers' unions, that's a spirit you see in communism. Workers gather, they build up associations, unions, and then they start fighting against capitalists. That's what you saw in USSR. This same spirit would have developed here too. That's why Hitler crushes communists. He crushes unions. He crushes workers' associations. And he curbs all political parties inside Germany. There should be only one political force, that's the Nazi force. Nazi party was the party headed by Hitler. He should be the lone party that should rule Germany, and there should not be any opposition. That's why you call him a Führer. He always thought that he was right. He always thought he is quite capable of ruling the entire world. He is brilliant. He excels everyone. And he can give the best regime. This is what Hitler thought of himself. And Hitler had anti-Semitic feelings. What do you mean by anti-Semitic? He never liked Jews. He hated them. He hated Jews. Jews were a minority. Always there was a fight between Jews and the Christians. Christians never liked the Jews. Jews were being considered as second-class citizens. Jews were not being given the right to live as free individuals. They were getting pushed into slavery almost. And Jews knew it. So Hitler declares Nazi as the only political party of Germany. Only one political party. In India you have multi-party system. We have many parties. We have national level parties, we have state level parties. But Germany then had only one party. What does it show? It shows that Hitler was a Führer or a dictator. Hitler suppressed the Jews. Stories go that when he was a young boy, he had seen how Jews suppress others. They used to lend money, charge a heavy interest on that. Jews used to lend money to others. They had a lot of money with them. They used to lend money, give loans, charge heavy interest on that, and like leech, they suck. They suck the other groups and religions. That used to make them angry. And even Hitler's parents suffered a lot in the hands of Jews. So as a young boy, he got that hatred burning with him that Jews should be crushed. They should be massacred. Jews do not have a place to live in this world. The entire race should be demolished. That's what he used to think. He put forth the theory of the supremacy of the German race. Hitler always thought that the Germans are superior to anyone in the world. Superior most. So he wanted Germans to rule the entire world. He nurtured ultra-nationalism. Nationalism is required. We should love our nation, we should love our motherland. That doesn't mean you hate other countries. We should not hate other countries. You need not serve them. You serve your nation. You always think of the welfare of your country, but don't hate others. When you start hating everybody else, we call it as ultra-nationalism. You are crossing the boundary. You love your land. In turn, you hate everyone else. This is called as extreme nationalism or ultra-nationalism. That's very bad. That will always hit or suppress good feeling in people, among people about other countries. World cannot survive merely on hatred. Peace and love, love and peace, these are the watchwords. Yes, we should live together, we should live happily. So Hitler nurtured ultra-nationalism. He said, Germans are the superior most race in the world. Most superior race in the world. Most brilliant people in the world. And his emblem was swastik. Swastik was his emblem. The emblem goes like this. Swastik. In India we know swastik very well. Shubha Labh, when we put and worship Lakshmi, we put swastik there. Because we have a branch of Aryans here in India. The same swastik went to Germany too. So we share blood with Germans in a way. Aryans share blood. They are the only fit people in the world to rule. Hitler declared, we are destined to rule. We are the people who have got the right to rule. Jews are the reason for all the problems of Germans, he said. If at all we have lost the First World War, it's because of Jews, he said. This is what I called as anti-Semitic feeling. Hating the Jews. That is anti-Semitic feeling, it is called as. So Hitler had these anti-Semitic thoughts in his mind, and he injected the same into the blood of all other Germans. And in Hitler's ministry, he had a propaganda minister, Goebbels. He was known as Goebbels. And Goebbels' job was only to spread hatred towards Jews. Make lies a truth. You tell a lie 10 times, keep on uttering, it becomes truth later. Goebbels. He was known for propaganda. This is what is called as propaganda. You keep on telling, this particular toothpaste is very good, this particular powder is exceptionally fine, it makes you white. You go on telling in all the channels and people start trying it. This is what we call as propaganda. It may be true, may not be true. But you go on telling everyone what you think, and that becomes the ultimate truth. Mass killings they started with Hitler at the helm of affairs, with Hitler as the Führer of Germany. He devised ways and means of killing Jews. Everywhere they started massacring Jews. Mass killing, massacring, kill them. First of all, you round them up, put them in jails, then send them to gas chambers. They are poorly fed. Their right to live itself is taken off. So in ghettos were the prisons then, they are the most dirtiest prisons in the world. Thousands and thousands of Jews were thrown into these ghettos, and they have to be fed now. Those who were fit to work, they were being made to work in the fields under the butt of the gun. And others, those who are old and weak, small kids who cannot work in the farms or anywhere, they were being killed. Mercilessly they were being massacred. This is something which went unheard of in history. Such an incident. How many Jews did he kill? 6 million Jews. Hitler kills in the span of about 8 to 10 years. He kills around 6 million Jews. That's worth 60 lakhs. 60 lakh Jews. If you add another 40 lakhs, it will be 1 crore. He killed them. Virtually he wanted to finish off all the Jews. Kill them all. I told you earlier, they don't have a right to live, he said. So Hitler turned to be notorious. He wanted to kill even the last Jew who may remain in this world. Nuremberg laws, tragical laws they were. Concentration camps were set up. I told you ghettos. What's a concentration camp? Once the German army marches into a village or a town, soldiers would have a march past. They rally through the roads, streets. They announce all the Jews, they should come and report at one point, maybe a ground, a big ground. They have to come and report there. That would have got fenced. German army will be there. Each and every Jew has to come and report there. They would be taken inside, and that's the ghetto, concentration camp. If they have any costly material with them, money with them, gold with them, diamond, anything, that would be snatched, that would be taken off. Even these Jews, they used to have the gold smeared teeth, gold. Jews were very rich. So if a tooth falls, they used to have implicated there a gold tooth. They even got the gold tooth drawn out because it carries wealth, Costly clothes that they were wearing, they were asked to be given away. They have to be given away. Children were separated from parents. Parents came with their children. Children were sent into another ghetto and parents were put here. Old people were sent to another ghetto. Classification, age-wise. Because ultimately you have to crush and massacre them, Government machinery was used to kill people in large numbers. You can't kill them individually. The job will be an unfinished job then. So they used to have gas chambers. 60, 80, 100 Jews would be sent in. The door gets closed and chlorine gas, which is used to kill street dogs, that gas will be sent in. People get suffocated and they die. And the dead bodies of these Jews was being sent to furnaces. 80, 100 bodies would be put into the furnace and it would be burnt. You can see the thick smoke coming out. And it's rich in phosphorus, the bones. It turns into a special manure for the German fields. The manure, the ashes collected by burning the bodies would be used for growing crops. See, what a notorious man Hitler was. Bodies were burned and the ashes collected, bones collected would be used for growing crops. He wanted to rule the entire world. I told you Hitler wanted to rule the entire world. That made him march into Poland. That was the commencement of the Second World War. First of all, he attacks Poland. Then he attacks other countries. He starts attacking all the countries in Europe. So, supremacy of the Aryan race was very important. He always thought. He had accepted that theory that the Aryans were superior and they had the right to rule the world. So, this is what led to the Second World War. This notion in the mind, a wrong perception that Aryans were superior to all other people and they were destined to rule was the key reason as to why German entered Second World War, declared Second World War. Now about Mussolini. As Hitler started the Nazi party in Germany, Mussolini started a like-minded party in Italy. That party was called Fascist Party. Even today that man, he is a fascist. He is a fascist. He believes in whatever he thinks right. He is not ready to listen to others at all. No democracy. Democratically, he doesn't want to discuss anything. Fascist. What he says is true and that has to be abided by all the people. This is what you call as fascist regime. In no way it is different from Nazism. Regressive political party, a political party which thinks likewise, which thinks that they are the most superior, exceptionally clever, highly brilliant, and they only know how to rule. Such a political party is called as a regressive political party that won't result in welfare, that will result in total demolition. The system would fall, it would collapse. Idea of destroying other national forces. So Mussolini decided, within the country, whoever opposes me, they should be killed first. There should not be any opposition within the country. Then you come to the international sphere. So within the country, you should have absolute power in your hands. So that idea came up in the mind of Mussolini. So he started patronizing violence. He never felt guilty in killing people. He patronized violence. Kill people. Kill your opponents. Kill the minorities. And you become strong. So racial superiority. Expansion of national boundaries. What came next? Why can't you attack some of the weaker nations all around and expand your territory? Then people too will develop respect for the government. What a ruler. What a war. What a victory. This is on these lines things start moving. You attack all smaller and weaker nations around and you build up. You start expanding the horizons of your empire. He became the Prime Minister of Italy in 1922. From 1922 to 1943, 21 years he rules Italy. It was during his period Second World War was declared. He joined hands with Hitler. They both fought together in Europe. Secret police services were designed by Mussolini. Hitler too had started. SS police, secret. They plan out and design without anybody coming to know. They attack suddenly. They drag the people out of the house and take them to jail. No inquiry, no judicial stand. Once the secret police, they suspect you and declare that you are a criminal, you are taken away. You can't appeal. You don't have a right to appeal to a court or a higher court as we have in India. In India, we have the appealing system. If you are not happy with the district court, you can go to the high court. If you are not happy with the verdict of the high court, you can move to the Supreme Court. No verdict is final. What the Supreme Court says ultimately, that's final. You don't have an appeal next to that. Only you can make a request to the President of India to pardon you. So I think you followed it. So they want to rule. They want to become absolute rulers. So secret police services were pressed into service. They destroyed all political opponents. There is no question of inquiry or mercy. Political parties that opposed Mussolini, they were demolished. So one party dictatorship in Germany and Italy. In both these countries, you had one party dictatorship, one person dictatorship. But Mussolini was ultimately assassinated in 1945. He was assassinated for all his criminal acts. When it comes to Hitler, when he came to know opposition forces are marching into the country, they have an upper hand, Hitler shoots himself in an underground cell. He knew that if he is caught by the opponents, they will definitely subject him to trial. And he may have the worst of the punishments then. He would be hanged. So before that, before he is captured and caught, he wanted to kill himself. So he shoots himself and dies. Now let us take up Second World War. You have learned about Hitler and Mussolini. Let us look into the course of the Second World War. First World War we have learned. Second World War started in the year 1939. It lasted 6 years till 1945. To begin with, which nation was occupied by Germany? I told you just now, Poland. It attacked Poland. No one thought Germany would attack Poland. And it was all of a sudden on the 1st of September 1939. 1st of September 1939, the attack, all Hitler's attacks are called as Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg in German language. What does blitzkrieg mean? Blitzkrieg is an attack where the opponent is made to get shocked. Mighty attack, a sudden attack. It won't give even time for the enemy to think over and plan. And when the attack takes place, a huge contingency of military would take part. It's not a small division trying to enter in. 20, 30, 40 planes attack at a time. When you look at the sky, you see the planes like birds coming in. And you, over, everything over. We may not be able to survive. We may not be able to turn out victorious. So you lose faith in yourself. You lose confidence. That's how you attack your enemy. Most heinous crime it was. Heinous crime. You never respected your opponents at all. You never thought they too have a right to express themselves. And the war was a devastating war. Second World War, this world had not seen such a world at all. Devastating. Everything got crushed. Massacre of people. Altogether, 30 countries directly participated in the Second World War. 30 countries. That's why you call it a world war. Most of the countries of the world, they participated in the war. So you call it as a world war. If there is an Indo-Pak war, you don't call it world war. It's Indo-Pak war. If another 20-30 countries join the two sides, then it becomes world war. Only two world wars have been fought so far. One in 1914, one in 1939. And due to the First World War, in the 1930s, there was great economic depression in the world. Economic depression. Due to Corona, there was an economic depression. Our GST collection that fell. The total economic development of the country has suffered. Not only with India, it is with all the countries of the world. Corona has not spared any country. So all the countries had an economic depression. So even after the First World War, as most of the industries failed, the pathway in which the world was progressing, that got demolished. There was mistrust in each other. Each country was doubting the efficacy of the other. Everything was under confusion. And this had a direct impact on the economy of the Europe. So, great economic depression of the 1930s. People did not have anything to eat. Most of the people, they walked out with the begging bowls. You may have money, but you don't have food. Pay any amount, you don't get food. Because food production has got lower. People were not able to grow at all in this war period. Life standard of the people dropped drastically. Life standard. We maintain a certain standard. That standard dropped. You don't get 2 square meals a day. You have to be content with whatever you get. Maybe the food is filthy. Prices start going up. Inflation will be there in the market. Prices keep going up. Growth of industries and agriculture, they got stagnated. Farmers stopped growing. During the war period, you can't grow. You get attacked, you will be under that threat. Industries, they got closed down. They did not get the raw material they needed. The countries became busy fighting instead of working for the welfare of people. There was unemployment everywhere. People, though they want to work, they like to work, they did not get jobs. Even if they got jobs, they were getting underpaid, very poor payment. So nationalization grew in Germany. In Germany, people were crazy after another war to be declared because they wanted to take revenge over their failure in the First World War. They were humiliated in the First World War. And other countries too, they were not interested in seeing that Germans are allowed to have a peaceful living. Huge war indemnity was put on Germany. You were the cause of the war, pay for our losses. Whatever we have spent on the war and other expenses incurred should be made good by Germany. It's not for one country, many countries around. Germany had attacked many countries. To all those countries, Germany had to pay. Germany considered it as a great humiliation, insult, humiliation. In these circumstances, Hitler became the dictator. He told German people, don't feel you are humiliated, don't feel you are insulted. I'll get back that place of pride to you. Once again, let us win over all the countries of the world and become the most superior Aryan race to take over the world, and we will have the place of our lost pride. I will get it. I'll restore it, he said. Mussolini told the same thing in Italy. So they became great friends, and Japan, looking at Germany and Italy, it decided to attack Russia from the east. On the eastern side of Russia, you have the Japanese islands. About 3,000 islands are there, out of which 4 are big islands. Honshu, Hokkaido, Shikoku and Kyushu. They were the 4 big islands among the 3,000. Japan had progressed very well under the imperialistic forces there. Japan had the king, emperor ruling. They had great pride in themselves. They thought Russia is a big country, it's weak, and time is ripe to attack Russia from the east. Because from the west, Germany was threatening Russia. So Russia did not want to send a big force to the east to combat. So the right time was chosen, and Japan attacks Russia. 2 groups got formed in the world. One I told you, the Axis powers, Germany, Italy and Japan. These 3 strong countries with a high spirit of nationalism, they came together and they are called as the Axis forces, Central forces. They were the reason for the Second World War. Indirectly, other countries are also a reason. They had humiliated Germany. After the war, normalization should have been done. Normalization. That did not take place. You made fun of Germany. You made Germany a very poor country in itself. They had to pay war indemnities, war losses to other countries, and as such, they were weak and poor. From where will they pay? People had to go out of food. On the other side, opposing Axis forces, you had the Allied forces. France, Britain and Russia. Afterwards, America too joined. So 4. France, Britain, Russia and America, USA. These 4 together, we call it as Allied forces. Axis forces versus Allied forces. That was the Second World War. Many other countries too joined later, but these are the key countries, key powers. England declared war against Germany. France was totally crushed. France was totally crushed. After France, Germany wanted to supersede Britain. Britain, they were proud that they were ruling the entire world. They had their colonies everywhere, in America, in Africa, in Asia. Everywhere they had their colonies. They used to feel proud and say, sun never sets in our empire. Sun never sets in the British Empire, because you have British colonies all over. If sun sets in one place, he would have risen somewhere else. He would have risen somewhere else. So, the precedent or the accepted thought was that sun never recedes or sets for the British. Britain was drawn into war. German planes started after France was crushed totally. France lost its territory totally. France got wiped out. Germany attacked Britain. Air attacks right on London. Soldiers used to descend down from the sky and attack, fight. Paratroop regiments. Again blitzkrieg. Suddenly 10, 12, 15 planes attack, and the British won't know how to go about. Indian soldiers were also a part of British army then. They were fighting in the streets of London, and our regiments, especially Gurkha regiments, had got all applause in Europe for their courage, their ability to face, and they used to have an upper hand everywhere. And Indian soldiers used to work day and night. The British wanted, they used to stick on to hours of work. Indians not like that, 24 hours they fight. They stay in the field and fight. So, England was a friend of Poland. When Germany attacked Poland, England kept quiet. It thought, I will be making a mistake if I join the war now. If Germany attacks Poland, let it attack. Let me keep quiet. England did not realize Germany would turn its anger towards England at a later date. Now the date has come. So England was attacked. Poland was totally occupied by Germany. England was slow in action then. Now England gets taught a lesson. Russia entered, no war pact. See, there was no unity. Russia thought this Germany may attack me now. So why should I not enter into a no war pact with Germany? So Russia said, let us be friends. We will sign the papers that we won't fight a war against each other. This is the mistake they do. If all the countries had got together, Germany would have got quashed. It did not happen. Germany took them one by one. It used to sign a no war pact with other countries, keep them at bay and continue with its job. Hitler started attacking West instead of East. Hitler too played with Russia. He knew Russia is a big force. I should not attack to start with. So he told Russia that he won't attack Russia. They signed papers. And he turned his anger towards West. West he went on clearing one by one. Britain, he wanted to pound it with bombs. Hitler entered into an agreement with Italy too, because Italy and Germany were together. They were Axis forces. They had a pact too, not to create any problem for each other. Hitler attacked Denmark. Denmark got wiped out. Hitler attacks Norway. Norway surrendered. Hitler attacked Holland. Holland was smashed. One by one. See how it goes. The British were in shudders. British thought we would lose everything to Germany. Situation has come that we were here in India, freedom struggle was going on. Quit India movement, 1942. That was in the midst of the Second World War. We started Quit India here. Gandhiji said, enough is enough. Walk out. Quit. Quit India. Go out. We know how to rule ourselves. We will rule. So, Germany captured most of Western Europe. Germans occupied most of the countries in Europe. We won't go on specifying one by one. You can make out easily. Almost entire Europe was taken over by Germany. Hitler was going on very strong. Now, there was no other way out. Hitler thought, now it is time I should take on Russia. No other country is left out. Let me take on Russia. And Hitler attacks Russia. And Russia declares war on Germany. So, two tycoons now again. Russia versus Germany. Germany made some mistakes here. Germany attacked Russia in winter, which should not have been done. The German people, they know about winter well, but they don't know what sort of winter do Russians face there. The winter of Moscow and Leningrad is something unheard of. And German soldiers did not have an inkling of that. They were not experienced to face such a cold weather as it was in Leningrad and Russia. Hitler's forces marched and Russian forces started withdrawing. They went on withdrawing, and Germany thought, I am on victory path. It's on victory path. It marched ahead. And as it came to winter, Russians took some time, waited further, and they knew well, and the Russian forces started attacking German forces from all sides. The routes were cut, the routes by which they had come. Because Russia was under a warlike situation over a long time. Because the communist revolution was going on. The soldiers were all well prepared. Russians knew how to fight over seasons. And Russians had an upper hand. German soldiers were massacred by the Russian soldiers. Germany had the first taste of defeat. Total defeat. Forces which had advanced could not come back at all. They cannot retreat even. Retreating forces were being absolutely demolished. Here, Japan joined Germany in the eastern side. Japan started attacking not only Russia but also military establishments of America in the Pacific Ocean. Even in Southeast Asia, wherever US establishments were there, mainly in the Pacific Ocean, Japan started attacking them. One of those was Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor in the Pacific Ocean, entire American fleet was there. American naval fleet was there. Blitzkrieg-like attack. Suddenly, the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor on a Sunday morning when all the Christian soldiers, they were all Christian soldiers, Americans, they were attending the puja, the worship, prayers in the churches. Hardly there were soldiers in the ships. They all had gone to churches. That time they had got it worked out, and Japanese planes started bombarding Pearl Harbor. For about 1.5, 2 hours, bombing went on. The soldiers were under total confusion. The ships were all burning. The planes which were there in the military airports, they were all burning. Hardly anything got left. And America had an absolute defeat in the Pearl Harbor. So America's confidence itself had got beaten up. America got angry. America thought the time is right to use the atomic bombs it had. The world did not know about it. America had atomic bombs. America dropped 2 atomic bombs, one on Hiroshima and the other on Nagasaki in Japan. About 1 lakh people died in each of these bomb blasts. Mushroom-shaped clouds rose. The world came to know for the first time there are bombs of this sort. Lakhs of people died. With the first bomb, Japan did not surrender, but with the second bomb, they were dropped during the first week of August 1945, Japan surrendered to America. The World War came to a close. So in the beginning, Japan had a success story, but later Japan was taught one of the most bitter lessons by America. Italy and Germany, they tried to take over British colonies. They could not in North Africa. Italy and Germany, they were attacking even colonies in North Africa, which belonged to Britain. There too, they were not able to meet with success. 1942, Russia defeated the German forces. 1942. Russia supported Allied forces. Now they had come to know, unless we all join hands and fight together, we will not be able to win the Allied forces. And Allied forces had attacked Italy and occupied it. So Italy got finished. First Axis power to get finished. Second one was Germany, third one was Japan, ultimately. So Germany surrendered to the march of the Red Army. This communist army, I told you earlier, they are called as a Red Army. Red color is the symbol of communism. So soldiers carrying the red flags and marching on, it's called as Red Army, March of the Red Army. Red Army attacked Germany. Hitler committed suicide in 1945. 1945, Hitler, the greatest leader, autocrat of the world, he kills himself. He commits suicide. USA dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I told you, lakhs of people died, and the Second World War came to a close. 6 years war. The world struggled to keep itself away from hunger. Even in India during the Second World War period, people were restrained from keeping rice and wheat in their houses. At the most you can have less than 1 kg of rice in the house, half a kg. More than half a kg if you possess, you are taken to jail by the British. Because in Europe, they were dying of hunger. They wanted India's grains to go to, wheat and rice to go to England. So people were restrained. They were asked not to hold any of the grains in their houses. It was very difficult even for Indians to survive that period. In the market you don't get, you can't hold it in the house. Then how will you cook the next day? Small kids are there, old people are there in the house. People need at least 1 square meal a day and you don't have anything with you. Whatever is there is ransacked by the British for the Second World War. Now, with the closure of the Second World War, the world thought we need a very strong world body to see that no more wars get fought in the world. Peace prevails. We need an organization, world organization, global organization to see that peace prevails. All the countries of the world should live in harmony. There was pressure on the Allied forces to declare independence to all the countries which were their colonies. We too got benefited under that to some extent. When you say Germany cannot colonize, Germany cannot pave the path of imperialism, how can you be imperialist? What Germany did with Poland was equally true of Britain with India. without any support, legal support, without being lawful, you occupied India. Is it not a crime? And you made the Indians suffer. You exploited them. You sent them to jails when they asked for freedom. Is that not a political, willful, illegal act? That's what Jawaharlal Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel, Gandhiji, they all questioned the colonial forces. What right do you have to occupy India? So England, look here, England, China, USSR, France and America. 4 allied forces plus China, because China too had the brunt of Second World War when Japan started attacking Russia and coastal areas of China. These 5 countries, they too came together and they got a special veto power in the United Nations. All the other countries started becoming members of the United Nations, and these 5 forces, England, France, America, Russia and China, they got the veto power. These 5 countries have to agree to each and every policy that the World Organization, United Nations Organization takes up. All the 5 countries should agree. Then only it becomes a policy, approved policy. So they became permanent members of the UN and they got the veto power. USSR and USA became 2 very strong countries in the world. USSR is the country which was able to rope Germany in, punish Germany. Russia's role was a big role. USA, it bombed Japan, made Japan shut up. So these 2 became 2 big world powers. And Cold War starts between them, that we will be seeing in the next period. Colonies of Asia and Africa, one by one, they started achieving independence from the countries existent in Europe, maybe Britain, France, then Denmark, Spain, Portugal. They were all holding colonies here. All these colonies started becoming independent one by one because the world community itself was crying at the pitch of its voice, make the colonies independent now. There cannot be any imperialist force as such. Indian independence too can be viewed from this angle. No doubt, the pitch, independence pitch was very high in India. Added to that, the Second World War played its role because Britain as such, it suffered a lot. Britain was not in a position to hold India in its control. It had to give independence. A country far away from England being kept under its control was not an easy job. And they did not have, their economy was not powerful even to take that up. So here, when Cold War starts between America and Russia, we see a nuclear power race too. Nuclear power race. Because nuclear bombs have played their role very well, and world has seen how powerful nuclear bombs are, and only 2 countries in the world, they were able to compete as far as the nuclear race was concerned. These things we will see in the next 3rd video. Thank you.